Economic Offences Wing sources have been telling ET now that NSEL was actually running a Ponzi scheme and no exchange really existed. These are damning allegations and they all come against Anjani Sinha, Mr. Bahukandi and the top management Amit Mukherjee at NSEL. Let's take it across to Vijay Ganeshan Iyer, who's joining us with details on that. These are damning allegations indeed, Vijay, where the Economic Offences Wing actually believed that no exchange existed. This was indeed a Ponzi scheme and the big management was actually getting a cut out of every trade that happened.
Absolutely, as you're rightly pointing out, Economic Offences officials clearly saying that there's no rocket science in this case. It was an open and shut case where clearly as there was no exchange, spot exchange existed in NSEL at first instance. There was clearly a Ponzi scheme going on where the exchanges on one hand used to sell a product which used to give a return of around 15% to the investors, where brokers got the investors. On the other hand, the borrowers, it was a loan that was being given to the borrowers, and the agreement between NSEL and borrowers clearly said that this loan amount that borrowers take, they can invest and do this money, with the money, whatever they want. So clearly, there was no exchange or there was no commodities involved in the business at all. While all this was happening, primarily Mr. Anjani Sinha, the business development officer, Amit Mukherjee, and Bahukandi, who both are arrested in the custody of EOW, used to get a cut of around 3% for facilitating this loan to the borrowers from NSEL. So clearly they're saying this was a Ponzi scheme. There was no books of accounts maintained, and only the August 8 and 9, 2013 records maintained in NSEL was a fudge book. Before that, there was no books of accounts on the warehousing stocks or anything. And they clearly also in more than one way said FMC as a regulator failed in keeping a watch, because this is being going on for a while, and raised questions on FMC's claim that this was an unregistered exchange, because they say if that was the case, why did FMC communicate via a letter and raise certain questions in 2012? So clearly, Economic Offences coming down heavily on the role played by FMC and clearly saying that Jignesh Shah and the directors have much more to answer in the coming days ahead.